Hi. Hi. I'm Chip Hamlin.
And I'm Earl Prescott.
And this is
Tackle Talk with Chip and Earl.
How you doing today, Earl?
Chip, I'm actually doing pretty good today. How about you?
I can't complain. We're out here on the banks of the Muddy River in Missouri. About 11:15 a.m. It's gonna be a scorcher today, that's for sure.
And what are we fishing for today, Chip?
Well, I got cheese on the end of my line, so that must mean we're looking for catfish and bullheads.
Now, the important thing to remember when you're fishing for catfish is you have to remember that they are bottom feeders. They like the bottom of the lake, the muddy waters. Speak of the devil.
Got one on? Go ahead, or keep talking about it, Earl.
I think we have a fish on. So you can use, as Chip said, you can use cheese. They also like pet food and grasshoppers. And remember to keep your lead long, probably about 8 feet.
Yep, because they like to stay in the deep
Oh.
water. So look at that.
That's
We caught a bluegill.
That's a beauty there, Chip.
At 8 inches. I'm surprised we caught him that deep.
Oh.
That's pretty uncommon for him.
Little spry one there. Look at him flop.
You know, I'm actually going to release him because we're looking for catfish and bullheads.
We've got bigger fish to catch.
That's right.
So
Go ahead and cast out here again.
So as usual on our show, we are going to take your phone calls, viewers, and some people call in and ask for advice, ask for help. So a little bit later in the show, Chip and I are going to take your calls and do our best to answer any questions you may have.
And questions can be about anything. Love, life, fishing, whatever you want.
That's right. We're about 2 years ago, on a day a lot like today, actually. The weather was about the same. And I happened to come across a river. Looks a little bit like this. And surface of the lake sheen like a mirror. Across the way I see a moose. And I knew it was a mama moose because it didn't have the antlers. That's my sign right there. But also the little baby calf moose walking alongside her, comes up alongside her, nuzzles right up to her.
That's well said, Earl. Family is incredibly important. There's a lot of waiting involved, but as you can see, it pays off if you're patient.
Chip, fish on.
You'll eventually get what you're looking for. On a day like today, sitting, waiting, talking to your friends, that's what fishing's all about.
Something just serene about being out here on the open water. You know, the smell, look at that.
Right, that's a bullhead.
That's what we're here for.
And we're keeping these.
That's a beauty.
Splashing right on the camera.
You have a gift there, Chip. I don't want anyone to tell you anything else, because you do have a fish.
Thanks, Earl. We've moved on down the riverbank, and we're going to do some bass fishing.
That's right, Chip. Now, the thing to remember about largemouth bass is that they have large mouths. So you want to make sure that the hook at the end of your line is big enough to catch them, because you have a hook that's too small, you're not going to get a good latch on them.
That's right, Earl. The other thing to remember is you want a short lead, because they like the shallow waters. They like to stay near the weeds and twigs and things like that. As you can see, I got one right now.
Oh, that's a great catch you've got there, Chip.
Yeah, he didn't put up much of a fight. We're going to go ahead and keep it, though.
He's a beauty.
We're out here fishing for bass.
Oh, that's a good catch there.
Yep, it's a pretty fish. I think this might be a good time to go ahead and take some calls from our viewers. What do you think?
Chip, it looks like we've got Steve on the line.
All right. Go ahead, Steve. What's on your mind?
Hey guys, this is Steve. I'm calling from Illinois. First off, I just wanted to say I love the show.
Thank you.
But I'm in a bit of a difficult situation here. I wanted to get your advice on what I should do about it.
Okay.
What's on your mind?
All right, so I've got a daughter now. She's about 16 years old. She's smart, she's beautiful, she's really good at sports, but she's getting to the age where she wants to start, dating some of the boys at her school. All right, now.
Okay.
Now I don't have any problem with that, and I think it's good for her. That's natural. But there's this one boy that she's been seeing now. You know, he's a good boy. You know, the thing is, he's a Jew.
Well, thanks for the call, Steve. That's a difficult situation. I don't have any experience with children myself. I know, Earl, you have a daughter of your own, so why don't we hear what Earl has to say about this one?
Well, it's important to remember that we're all God's children, and we're all brothers and sisters. We're all in this together. So, I would, start to get to know the boy. Invite him over your house for breakfast or dinner. Sit him down, have a good long conversation, look him right in the eye, and try to get a sense of morals out of him. See if his, morals match yours. If they do, I don't see a problem here. I mean, we can put labels on ourselves all day long, but at the end of the day, if our morals are the same, there's really no consequences.
That's really well said, Earl. The other thing I might add is, you never know when the boy might come around. One thing you can try is keeping Bibles near him, maybe under his bed. One day he might pick it up and change his mind.
All right, thanks, guys. I really appreciate the advice. Have a great day. Keep the fish coming.
Well, that's no problem, Steve. Thanks for the call. We really appreciate that.
Thanks, Steve.
That was a bit of an interesting situation he had. I know. I agree with you, Earl, but I think like Steve, I would feel a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe I shouldn't, but I might.
You probably shouldn't.
I'll go ahead and reel this one in.
Looks like we've got time for one more phone call.
Why don't we see if we got anyone on the line?
Alright, we've got Jake on the line. Jake, you're on with Chip and Earl. What's on your mind?
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to know, what would you rather suck, donkey schlong or horse cock? Or what about an elk?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and reel this one in. Fish, they start getting sluggish around this time of night.
That was a nice cast.
Well, it looks like we're losing the sunlight, so I think it's about time we wrap it up.
We'd like to thank everybody who tuned in today, and the people who called in as well.
That's right, and we encourage you to tune in next time, where we will be catching more fish. I'm Chip Hamlin.
And I'm Earl Prescott.
And this has been Tackle Talk with Chip and Earl. So long.